it worked. All right, guys. So I was like, there's no way it's going to find this window. I'm like, I closed it down. I was like, I opened something else up and I forgot to change the window overlay. And then I was like, yeah, there's no way. I'm going to have to explain this. But it worked. It worked. It worked. It's always good. All right. So welcome back. It's Thursday. Um, I think all my Texas people, I think are still alive. I don't think anybody is frozen yet. Um, James, I'm sure you've been, passing the mason jars around, keeping everybody warm. I know it's supposed to. I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be 70 degrees next Wednesday in Austin. So I was going to give my sister a call and pick on her and be like, "Hey, stop complaining. It's going to be 70 degrees next week. You guys are going to be like, oh, wearing shorts again." So it is what it is. All right, let's dive right in today. My wife is home, so she's sitting behind me. So, we'll see. She's going to make faces at me the whole time and say I sound dumb, but I'm going to have to pick on her and say lots of nice things about her today so she's not mad at me all day because that's, you guys know how it is. Also, the baby is asleep. She's not here yet, so I'm sure she'll toddle in a little bit, and, we'll see if we can get a stream in without her being upset today. So far this morning, the biggest news we got is the unemployment claims. The 861K is definitely higher than expected by about 90K. So that's kind of a big deal. Canada, check out Canada's unemployment as well. They don't really get forecasts. Last time they had gained 338,000 jobs. Canada's non-farm employment change was down 231,000. So that is quite the move. And, as bad as that is, you can see that the dollar CAD is down 55 pips in 24 hours. So even though we're having the dollar basically getting blown up from its run yesterday, and then Canada, posts horrible news, it's still kind of, again, outpacing the dollar. So it just shows how negative it is. Hey, it's an occupational hazard. I know, right, Neuro? All right, so today, 10:30, we have natural gas. Again, natural gas is one of those ones that probably pretty big in the spotlight. And again, the unfortunate thing about natural gas today is, while it would be fun to trade, there's probably so much premium jacked into it right now with everything going on. I heard Arkansas has or yesterday before the current storm had 9 inches of snow on the ground or something. I'm like, Arkansas gets snow? I had no idea. Right? Had no idea. We were supposed to have 4 to 6 inches. I think we got less than an inch. And I think we're done. I don't think there's any more forecasts for later today. See, now I'm curious. Weather. I guess radar says that we have some right now, but I was looking outside a little while ago. I didn't see anything. No, we're done by 1 o'clock today. We're gonna get an inch or 2 inches total. Yeah, we're already into the mix in the rain. Yeah, we're out. Yeah, so wah wah wah. No 4 to 6 inches of snow for us. But again, we got natural gas followed right by crude oil. And again, crude oil, same thing. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of premium in there. Look at that one. We'll look at it on the chart, but you're going to have to really dial in and look at that one. Starting around, I don't know, this one's going to be a little bit harder because with natural gas 30 minutes before, you're going to have to dive in at 10:45-ish, 10:50-ish. See what the reaction is from natural gas, because people are going to see that and be like, oh, that should carry over into crude. And it may. But again, a little bit more challenging than when it's a Wednesday, Thursday release versus a double Thursday. All right. So we'll check those out. As far as the rest of the day, you can see there's nothing really on here. We have retail sales tonight for Australia. So there may be at 7:30, there may be a bit of a pop. And again, it's expected to be positive news, 2.1% versus -4 last time. So again, it's not considered a middle of the range, kind of medium impact news. But again, retail sales is typically a big number. So we got to jump over and see if what does James call it? A Rue trade? Is that what he's calling it now? Looking at it here, 10 to 12 here at this point. I've barely noticed. No, you're up, but you're in New Hampshire or something like that, aren't you? Or Maine? Aren't you farther up north? Connecticut, the same thing. New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, it's all the same. You guys just all, it's like a bunch of villages and you just drew lines and said, exactly, it's all the same. It's it's like the weirdest shape states, right? And it's for a little kid, it's like, okay, which one's Vermont? Which one's Connecticut? Which one's, that I cannot agree with. I can't. They're so strange. And then you got Massachusetts thrown in there. Maine is the only one that's good. And it's kind of funny. Obviously, you guys know my wife from Vancouver originally, right? And I used to travel to Toronto a lot of times too. It's odd to think that Maine, is so far. You're like, oh, Maine, it's the United States. So you don't realize that there are parts of Canada that are actually farther south than the tip of Maine. So it's kind of funny. Although I do like Maine. Maine has crazy weather, but I do like Maine a lot. It's beautiful up there. Um, so nothing really else today we got to worry about. As far as the hottest news, you can see that it's mostly just low impact stuff. We got the manufacturing business outlook survey came out about an hour ago. You know, talking about spiking U.S. national debt. Everybody knows that that's going to get worse. Again, pandemic, so it makes sense. Jobless rate in UK has risen, markedly. Again, pandemic. Premature panic over inflation in the Fed. I don't know about that one. And again, dollar index, we know what's going on there. So not really a lot on the news front right now that we really, that I would say is you got to really kind of go crazy with. And there's really there's nothing in there right now. So most of the movement today has been retracing. And again, we know what the pound retracing is coming from. Mostly the dollar, right? And again, euro dollar, you can see in the last hour, it's been kind of retracing back down again as well. Again, it was up big and then obviously pulling back, and that's what we're seeing in most of these pairs. Euro pound being down 42 though is showing that we do have pound strength stepping in. Again, pound yen 91 up is a decent move. I mean, it's not its it's not its daily ATR, but it is a decent move. And euro pound being down 42. Again, I mentioned we were at a level yesterday. I wasn't super convinced, and I was like, yeah, it's here, it's there, I guess, if you really want to take it. But you guys knew that I had an issue with that level. And again, it ended up failing and going lower. So again, sometimes those intuitions are, even though on a technical basis you look at it, you can just see what, you got to have that. You got to, trust your intuitions on it. And again, down 42, so that's an average day for the euro pound, seeing that pound strength step back in. And like I said, I've mentioned that European weakness is one of those things that I think the more news we get and the more headlines and things, that's where you're going to see it, right? That's where you're going to see it. Another thing to add too, yesterday I posted it in Discord, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, that Pfizer had test tube data back that they have a much lower rate of, again, still effective, but again, to be effective, you're, versus placebo, it's not as difficult. But again, remember the early claims, Pfizer's good, Moderna comes out with 94, Pfizer's like, ours is 95, right? Well, we don't know, what the actual percentages are because, again, it is only test tube testing, but they showed that their vaccine is not as effective by a substantial amount, actually. Versus, and again, it's, and this is what bugged me about this when you heard about it. And again, it was a letter written or an article posted and a study presented to the New England Journal of Medicine. So again, a very reputable journal. They were using a lab created variant, right? Again, it's like a lab generated. It's like, wait a second, wasn't there all this drama about how this was not lab created, but now we're creating lab versions of the different strains? And I was like, okay, this is lovely. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, it wasn't as good. Everybody expected it. Pfizer hasn't done it with real people. Pfizer's only done it in a test tube setting, and it was not good, which probably means that they're not going to do it in a live setting because they don't like negative press. Actually, J&J and the Novavax or whatever, the only two that's done it in a live setting. Moderna has done it in a live setting, and I wouldn't expect them to. They're not one of the super deep pocket type companies. But like I said, J&J's done it. J&J is the one I'm the most excited about, getting out there. Going into tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow morning, we know that it's going to be the hotbed of movement, right? Starts off early with the pound again. Let me just shrink this. I'll get rid of these. We don't need all that drama in there. All right. You can see it's pretty much a block of orange and red, right? A lot of flash manufacturing, both for manufacturing as well as services PMI. Looking at the forecasts, they're not showing too much unchanged. Services obviously having a little bit more problems. The pound services is actually up. Again, has not broken 50, but going from 39.5 to 42.1 is a decent jump. But at the same time, remember, they just locked down. So yeah, I would expect there to be a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like this one may come in a little bit of a disappointment. So again, I'm kind of expecting some pound movement tomorrow. So this strong push up in the pound, I think, is kind of almost setting itself up for a reversal into tomorrow morning. And then we have CAD retail sales. Retail sales for CAD. I mean, again, CAD was firing on all cylinders, and now there's 240,000, reduction in jobs there. We're seeing retail sales dropping on both. It's like, man, what happened to our neighbors of the north? Biden comes in, shuts the pipeline down, and bam, 250,000 jobs lost, and all the retail sales and spending are down. It's like, wow, way to make some friends, right? And then we have U.S. manufacturing PMI at 945. So A lot of stuff. It's strange that most people are looking forward to a Johnson& Johnson product. I mean, honestly, it's being from that industry. J&J was never, one of the what I would classify as the evil empire. J&J makes so many different things, though. It's unbelievable. If you look to see what they actually produce in their, generic line and their household good products and all that kind of stuff, they produce a lot of stuff that people don't know about. But as far as pharmaceuticals go, like, they weren't the biggest research driven company, but they also weren't like marketing, like, marketing devils either. They're no, they're definitely not a Pfizer, right? Um, and most of the time when you look at their literature and the studies they put together and their actual study design, J&J wasn't bad. Like I said, they weren't one of the front runners as far as research and development goes into kind of new novel vaccines and things or novel medications and things. They always had like number 2 or number 3 to the market, but overall they were not necessarily bad products. The safety profiles were good on them. So, again, they got a lot of slack for some of the products they have that people just didn't know, like the baby powder, the talc, or whatever in it, that was used basically forever. But again, how many other products out? I mean, at one point, somebody thought asbestos was good as well, right? Right. At one point, I would love to see the early messaging on that one. Right. This is the greatest stuff ever. Awesome insulation. We're going to use it everywhere. Right. It's kind of the same thing, like elementary schools back whenever they found out that the lead solder that they were using was causing problems. I mean, who would have guessed it, right? It's the same thing. You learn in time, right? So tomorrow morning, lots of moves, a lot of stuff going on. So let's dive right over into the charts. I was actually scrambled today, so I didn't have much chance to redo this stuff. As of right now, again, we're still kind of in that high area, looking for reversals. I would say there's really not much movement. We're looking for a bounce down, and we ended up tagging that 77.27 level one more time. I still would like it to get down to this level. I do think the 77.27 will probably fail the next time, just based off of really kind of a kind of triggered back and forth. Still waiting for much bigger of a push. We need the dollar to really step it up here and get some strength back in it again. Obviously, the reversal of dollar has helped this one, but Australia is talking about additional lockdowns. Things are, going here. I mean, I don't know. As good as everything seems like it is for Australia, I do feel that it is due to kind of start becoming one of the weaker currencies. They were the first hit originally, but again, it is very, very high in the curve. We're not out of the pandemic yet. And you guys have heard me say it for months. It's only going to take one mutation, and all of a sudden, none of the vaccines work. And then guess what happens? It's like, oh. And eventually, I mean, guess what? Eventually, one of these people out there, none of these vaccines are 100% effective. What's going to happen when, I don't know, one of these crazy news programs or somebody dies that was vaccinated from COVID? As soon as that becomes in the media spot, I mean, it could be like one person, right? Out of how many people, out of the 100 million people vaccinated that Biden's claiming, it's only going to take one person, right? That person goes on, that person becomes the media's focus. Even though it's such a minor percentage, what's going to happen? Panic, hysteria, lockdowns. It's I'm gonna build another shed in the backyard, and run internet power and put a space heater and put my kids outside. Right? They're gonna do all their Zoom school outside. Let's do it, Stewie, Brian. What? Brian, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still in the Forex Factory right now. This one? Yeah. No, I didn't really change anything. It's just this. I was not stuck. Stuck, Ernest, would mean that I was pushing the button and it didn't work. I was just ignoring it. One of these days it'll come across. Are you happy now? Put me in timeout, Ernest. You can ban me. You can chat block me. There we go. Anyway, look for it to break. Like I said, not really much movement. It's kind of going back and forth between the 78.08 and the 77.27. So not much movement. Really not a lot of trading opportunity in this one. I think tomorrow will be a much better opportunity. For today, though, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't say that this one was a crazy dollar weakness play. It literally just bounced back and forth, and you're only talking about a 40 pip run or so. Nothing substantial as far as the Aussie goes. But look for it later tonight. A little bit of setup. Aussie yen. That zone should be gone. Yeah, there we go. It was close when it hit. Same thing. The chart almost looks identical. I mean, we're sitting here right now, right? Yesterday we were sitting right. Where is it? Right, 9:30 is right here. Again, we kind of pulled down. So I mean, you're talking about a 10 pip run. I mean, at most it was 35 up, right? So still looking for this kind of failure level. Again, tested here, tested. Pushed very, very deep in. So looking for a break of 31.73, looking for pushes down. 81.40, 81.19. I think either of these is probably decent. Probably all the way down is probably what this one will do. It's going to have a little bit of a hiccup here, like I mentioned yesterday. But overall, this one is still kind of set up. I'm just waiting for that break and waiting for a push down. So not much else you can do with this one. Euro yen. So euro yen is pulling back. Obviously, large emotional move. It went off a weird area. This is kind of a strange little hiccup over here, and you could have picked it. It was all right. I mean, the indicator didn't like it because, again, the way that the candles are formed is a little bit funky. It did tag. It has been grinding higher. I wouldn't be I'm not really interested in taking a short in this one until we get back up to the 127.90. Right now, we're in a bit of a 30-minute racetrack. It can push higher, but it is a decent basing level. Curve-wise on this one, I would run it from here to here right now. Let me change this to gray. There's where I'd be running curve-wise. So you can see it's not in the top third. It is in the very, very upper reaches of that, of the center area of the curve. So, it's getting set up. It's a level where we had massive amounts of movement before. So it absolutely could be another place that we kind of, turn and roll. But right now, these are the three price levels that I'm looking at. I'm looking at 128.35, 127.90, and 127.17. And again, if you know how to set alerts, instead of sitting here trying to watch paint dry all day with this pair, set the alerts, right? If you guys need a platform that's very, very easy to do alerts on, just go sign up at IGUS. I don't have a link or anything like that. IG doesn't pay me or anything like that, but their alert system is really easy, and it's a web-based client. So I mean, you should be able to log in from pretty much anywhere. I don't think most businesses are blocking IG.us. So it's web-based client. You should be able to do it. Set your alerts, get notifications, and then jump on your phone and trade it. Right. So those are the three price levels I'm looking at. And again, I would say this is probably green today. Look for kind of a basing level, and then look for a roll probably at noon of 127.90. Okay. Pound yen, bam, it's up. So pound yen, it came back down. It didn't give us the greatest of retests. As you can see, we pushed down, we came back up, and we did do a bit of a retrace. You could have absolutely taken this one long. I have this drawn here, but let me delete these so you guys can kind of see it. If you would use this new level of basing, which was right here, right? Hold on. Right there. That's where you could have taken this one long from, right in this area. Now, was it clean? No. But here's the 3 o'clock candle. It was literally sitting right at the top of that zone at 3 o'clock. Had you taken this one, it would have given you about 18 to 19 pips worth of risk, right? You could have taken this one for. And then again, amazing rally from that time. You're talking up about 116. So that was a European Open trade based off of a prior level of basing. We're still waiting for a break. And right now, I would say, we mentioned before that we have a level sitting right up here at 148.04. We got pretty close. We got within about 24 pips. I would still wait for that level before I looked into a kind of a reversal. Now, it's got a little bit of a top put in. Obviously, the U.S. trader stepping in is kind of messing this one up a little bit. I don't really necessarily like the formation of this, so I wouldn't quite say that the top is in yet. But if we do get a decent kind of something that looks like this, right? Some type of a decent, a candle like this where, again, it's not all wick to the top side. I'd be looking to take this one short again, whether it's from this level down, right? Whether it's from here down, or if we put a lower level in somewhere in here down. But I think either of those two is fine. Levels that I would watch out for. I'd watch out for, again, looking for profit taking right in here at 147.10. So it may look like something like this. Right? It may look like something like this. Right? Again, whether we bounce off 148.04 or we put the top in here. Again, either of those two works. And again, we can focus on color changes. There's a lot of other different things in here as well. All right? So look for that. Pound dollar. So pound dollar is already starting to crank back again. And again, this is, yes, this one missed by, right here now, it's saying 5.5. Same thing that we just mentioned. Looking for this one to roll back down. We are in the extreme ranges on the top side. At least on an hourly basis, it didn't really. There was nothing really. We were so close. It was right there. There's not much else I can say besides it was right there, and now it's pulling back. I do think this one has, again, targets that are coming back down. Make sure you guys get your profit before 138.54. I do have a short trade kind of trigger set in here down here when we get a break of the 138.32. Looking for that one to drop about 40 pips lower into 137.90. So right now, I'd say, again, look for this one to kind of pull back down. Whether we can do it in one day, maybe a lot, but I am looking from, again, probably here. Top into the deep middle, right, is what I'm looking for. Okay. But yeah, and again, if you didn't get into this trade, it's probably a bit deep now, but, again, keep that one on your radar for 139.91. Here's that euro pound. And again, remember, I said you could take this. I didn't like it. Wasn't necessarily the biggest fan, and look for it to drop, and it did. It broke through that zone, right? And again, it spent so much time in here. I wasn't really confident with it. And again, it was a 4-hour zone, so I said, listen, if you wanted to take it, I mean, on a purely technical basis, yes, it was a zone. And you could, but I just didn't like the way that it looked. I didn't like how it was grinding down. I didn't like the European data. The pound was definitely, there's many different things in here that I just was not a big fan of taking this one. And again, you do have to step in, you do have to take these things a lot of times, but it just wasn't really something that I was super into. So again, daily basis, you can see this has been a level right here. And here's where, and again, number of different touches. Right? I mean, here. So, I mean, again, it's, you guys can see, look, here again. So it wasn't there for me, right? It wasn't there for me. Right now, I would say, I would look for pullbacks. Right now, there's not a whole lot of decent pullbacks in here. I would say, let's clear these just so we can get an easier view. Can you see that on a 4-hour? It's not bad on a 4-hour. Let's put this level right here. I like how we had the descending wicks here. I like how it came back and retested and then kind of hammered down. Let's go down to here. Yeah, we can bring that to probably there. Yeah, I'm okay with that zone. Let's change this to red. There we go. Let's drop some of this on there. And we'll drop that right there. All right, so any bit of a retracement in this pair. And again, it could come tomorrow. There's a lot of fireworks in the morning. Like I said, it could start off bad with the pound, jacking this higher. And then when we get the European data, kind of roll back down. It's going to take about a 50-pip move to the top side. We can definitely get that from now till tomorrow morning for the UK Open. But again, it's a level that's, it's been tested kind of twice, but a base drop, pullback, pop down again, and then when it hit it, they really stepped in and hammered it down. So 86.96 would be an area I'm watching for. As far as reversals go, I mean, there's not really a whole lot down here that I'm like, I mean, you can see daily wise, the first daily level is all the way down here, right? Actually, that's a weekly level. Daily is a little bit higher. The weekly level starts there. Let me go back and check these out. Yeah, and that's not even, look at that. It's not even, I'd probably say the first area would be this level right here. So yeah, we got a lot of room to run to the downside on this one. 83.95 is where I would say any kind of downward side projections are. Like I said, this area is finally, I mean, we're kind of in it right now, but and there's a wick over wick we could mess with as well. Let me go down to a 4-hour and check that out. Here, we'll go back to this. We'll use this as far as new positions going in. I gotta go back and do it again. Drop that down to there. Yeah, it's good. There we go. So 2 little shorts in there, and again, an area that we're going to have a little bit of hiccuping. But if we can break that level, again, 83.95 to the downside. But I'd be looking for short-term stuff down. I think that's the best bet. Little pullbacks. Fortunately, there's not a lot in there. But yeah, if we can get a pullback in a base, that'll give us a shorter-term entry for tomorrow morning. Euro-dollar. So, euro-dollar. We drew it, touched, came back down, and boom, off to the races. This is one of those ones. Let's go ahead and hopefully nothing disappears. Okay, good. All right. 10. There's the 3 o'clock candle. Actually, there it is right there. There's to 9. So this one gave us a total of 55 pips. All right. I would say, I mean, obviously this one is pretty easy. We're in the reversal kind of position in this right now. There was basing right here in this level, right? This is a level that should have been easy enough to grab for most people. You're what? 20 pips in a profit at this point. It is coming back in, obviously, where it's having a hiccup. Makes complete sense. We've seen buyers step in there in the past. But again, easy drop, base drop on this one. Came back and touched it. Touched it about 8 o'clock this morning. So again, when U.S. futures traders were starting to step into the markets. Again, at this point, you're up over, I mean, you're up probably over 2 to 1. Let's see how deep this went. Yeah, I mean, you're, oops, not there. Yeah, you can see it. You're basically at 1 to 2. So I mean, this is definitely a trade that, again, if it comes back up and whipsaws, it's not going to cost anything. You should have your stop loss at break even. And again, what did it do? I mean, this is an easy setup. This is one we talk about all the time. Easy level to find. Just entered the top of the curve area again. You're looking for short positions. Short positions into an hourly, or even, I mean, even on a 30-minute, we could probably shrink it just a little bit more. Kind of, but probably here would be the, right there would be the bottom, right there. No, I don't want it off that one. I want it off of, I want it off these two right here. It's going to make me do it here. Right there. I want it off these two. See this base down here? And again, that's where this one tested. And again, could have got your entry. All right there. Right. So either way, it doesn't matter whether you take it hourly, 30-minute entry, top of the curve, looking for a short position, pushing back to the downside, hitting where basing is right now. Overall positions, this 1 to 5, the 120.44, I think is a decent level. Right here, decent level, right? You could take it either one of those two. Again, I mean, this is only 10 pips. So, I mean, 10 pips is fine. 10.2. All right. All right, there's your, now Dollar Cat. Dollar Cat has got to be the ugliest pair right now. Dollar Cat is literally like, hey, I'm bad. No, I'm badder. No, I'm badder. No, I'm badder, right? It's just like, I mean, look at this. So much basing in here. So much basing. You know, and again, this level here, it's been chopped. Boom, 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 boom. All the bottoms, then it becomes the top, then it kind of faked this out here. And again, we were looking for a break, but it was a one candle up and down, so never gave us an entry to get short. But I would say still hold it. I mean, if we can get, I mean, really, I would say, I mean, if we can get a decent break of that level, right? Right there, right? 126.72. Again, all we did was spike. It shows us that this level is definitely not, there's nothing there anymore. Look for this to come down. Look for it to establish a new level somewhere in here, right? Look for a base. As soon as we get that base, look for a drop on this one. I mean, I'd be looking for profit targets at 126.36. Again, we got to see where this is in, right? I don't know where this level is going to be, but once this level comes down and bases approximately around 26.72, look for short. You know, although everything has been so negative CAD, you know, it's gonna find a level and kind of kick back again. And again, the dollar's not great, you know. Retail sales numbers were phenomenal, right? And we had amazing dollar strength. Now we're seeing the unemployment numbers for first-time claims go even higher, right? Yeah, I don't know. Look for a base and then look for a drop. I don't know where it's going to be. It could be here. It could base here. It could be anywhere in this area. But as soon as we get a base somewhere approximately around 126.47, it's going to be the old buyers that were in here that were kind of whipped through. And you can see it. This candle is kind of reacting. As soon as you get that base, bam, there's our established level of risk. Take this short, drop it down to 126. So, I mean, we're looking for a push somewhere in this range, right? Dollar Swiss. I mean, there's dollar Swiss. I drew the line yesterday, talked about this area, and you can see right there is where we had the issues at. You know, like I said, we drove this, the 89.49 was a little bit deep on this one. Here's where the big boom was, and that's what it went off of, but I still think the trade is pretty decent. And again, you could have used the blue line. Had you not used the blue line, you could have actually reestablished it this morning. You could have thrown a trade in here, right? And again, this is the open at the UK Open, right? So if I shrink this back to here for your initial entry, There you go. There's your 1 to 3 based off the gap, right? There's your gap to the downside. All right. Was there on this one? Ernest, that's like an oxymoron. There was a nice knockout in the dollar Swiss. Do those come with the dollar Swiss? I don't know. A nice knockout in the dollar Swiss. By the way, just want to make sure everybody knows Ernest is trying to win $20,000 in a cooking competition. Remember, you can vote once every 24 hours. It has been 24 hours since we plugged Ernest last time, so please make sure that you get out there and vote. And I have assurances from the chef that every time that you vote, you're allowed to ask for the recipe to one of Ernest's creations. So again, Ernest, post that link, baby. We're going to get you this $20,000 no matter what. or we're going to do our best, and at least until you run into an Instagram model, and then I can't help you. Then I can't help you. But anyway, look for this one to drop. I do think this one comes back down again. I think the U.S. once the true U.S. weakness comes in, I think we will come back down to the 180s. But right now, again, your 1 to 3 trade is out on this one based off your established level of risk from the gap from last night. Obviously, there's another level up there, so if we come back up again, there may be one more opportunity. It was a little bit higher. We may be able to kind of take this one over here as well, and take this one for a second ride. Right, look for a second ride in. Okay. And again, we're probably good for the next one. But again, watch that level. Buyer stepped in at 88.55. All right, dollar yen. I showed you 2 profit targets yesterday. We got the crash, so like we're here. Yesterday we were sitting right here. Right, we just gotten into this position. We bounced off the 1 to 3. We came back up, and look at this. We got so close. We got within 3 pips of the 1 to 5 target. 3 pips. I do think it will push back down, though. I think it's fine. But yeah, there's your target from yesterday, guys. We're out at this point. Again, if you worst case scenario, you got out when we broke back to the 1 to 3. So you got your 35 pips on it either way. I do think you need to watch out for the 106.10 number. Again, we've hit it, but again, this is where we're messing around with 4 hour. There's a 4 hour level kicking in right there, as well as hourly. Let me change this back down. Right there. You can see that there's an hourly level here. It's an hourly, a 30-minute, and a 4 hour level all in the exact same spot. Thank you, Ernest, for posting that. I'll make sure that we show that. I know you guys can't see this right now. Wait, wait, hold on. What is it doing? All right, there we go. All right. All right. Just want to let you know. I'll show you afterwards what I just did. So yeah, I mean, if it comes back up, in this range, it's probably worth one more hit. See if we can time it somewhere around news. That's probably the best bet. But 106.10, 106.11, back in this range, right here, 106. Yeah, it's 106.10. Is where the bottom is. All right. So look for another short there. Look for that to push back lower. Now NQ. There we go. So NQ bounced off that level I mentioned with Todd, and I was really looking for a push to the downside on this one. I do think this one needs to be short today. I think it comes down to the 13,446. As you can see, it did base in that level, pop, and then kind of broke through the bottom. So it's kind of a breakout trade to the downside. I am definitely bearish this position. I think the NQ will come down. It gets a little bit choppy on the lower time frames, but I think this 30-minute level here, this was a decent kind of decent level, right? I mean, it's kind of big, and it was kind of a hit before. It's not as clean as the lower levels there, but that was really the start of a big push up. And again, it was a level of basing, so I definitely think it's something you got to watch out for. Are we going to get a reverse off that level? I don't know. I mean, it's already 10-10. Maybe, see what the rest of the day does. Like I said, natural gas, crude oil are definitely going to kind of mess with this a little bit. I think a lot of eyes will be on a lot of the commodities today, and then once we get the commodities out of the way, it's kind of like, all right, well, are people going to keep suffering, right? It's the suffering that people are worried about, right? We can take this out. We don't need this level anymore. That was the one we were looking to break. Just clean it up for tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, I'd just say, short down to 13,446. Look for a Harry Potter bounce and go higher. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw it. Todd was teaching the Harry Potter today, and I just had to laugh. I was like, he's like, I love this thing. It's like the lightning bolt. It's Harry Potter. I was like, this is so funny. Todd has become a student. I'm waiting for the PayPal notification that Todd has purchased the Forex Master course and the indicators. He's gonna ask me how to install these on MT4. I'm gonna laugh. Anyway, guys, 3886 is a level we talked about coming down to. If we can get a bounce from this low extreme on the curve, was a bounce, has tested one time. Obviously, we mentioned again yesterday, staying bearish. We did have a bit of a pullback, but again, we're clearing these levels. So 3886 is a potential reversal. See what it does. If we base in there, if we have this, if we have this right here, I'll just draw another one. Here, I'll just do it up here. If we get a base in here, though, then we're looking for a drop. I don't need this anymore. I mean, I guess there's a level sitting right there. There's a level right there, but it's not not worried about it as much. Delete. Oops, no, I want to delete. 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 So again, I think this has the potential for somewhat of a bottom, depending on when we hit. But if we do come down and we start basing sideways and it starts kind of hitting it a few times, look for a collapse. Okay, if it's gonna be a reversal, it's gonna be pretty quick. It's gonna hit and bounce, and then we can look for our pullback entry. But if it hits and kind of bases and starts chopping through, get short. Okay, little hiccup here, but I think overall in this one, I think this one has the ability to come down probably into this level here. Yeah, probably. Yeah, right there. Yeah, 38. So decent 50-point runner to the downside. But again, I'm thinking pop first, reversal. There's a lot of negativity. I'm looking for some type of a pop off of it. But gotta watch. We drop and again, I'm more looking for a Harry Potter where we touch it, bounce away, and then come up. If it comes down and just flat, I mean, again, this here, I'll draw the patterns. Remember, if this is where we have this, I guess it's kind of this, actually. Right? Your Harry Potter bounce as this comes down. If it does this, then we're looking for down. Okay, so if it's this, if we have this pattern, we go long here. If we have this, we go short when it comes through the bottom or even has a confirmation to the downside. Okay. Dow. Dow's coming down, baby. Is coming down. We marked these levels off yesterday as being high points here. We talked about being a 4-hour zone. We literally hit the 4-hour zone drop, and now it's just continued to collapse. I mean, this was late last night, but it went to the extreme range of the curve again. Very, very top. We pushed not only through the top section, we pushed all the way through the bottom section to hit the profit targets down here at 31,383. Now, we mentioned this is not a reversal target. It is in the middle section, but it was to be used as a target. You can see that it had some major issues with it. It hit it and kind of chopped through and chopped through and chopped through. So right now, I would say, again, I'd wait for this thing to come back down to kind of this level. We can take the target area out because, again, the trade is done. And, kind of same thing. There's a few levels up here, but I'll probably keep it up there. 31,665. We're going to move this. Move this over here. Put it up top right there. There we go. All right. Wait for this to come down. Look for reversals in the Dow as well. I do think the Dow will be a bit more negative. Remember, the Dow will be affected tomorrow by the manufacturing PMI data. So again, we'll see what that looks like later. But at this point, there's not a whole lot more for this one. I'd say negative until we hit 21,205. And maybe we'll get something later in the day. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a headline. Maybe there'll be a tweet. Maybe we'll get something good. And again, have that turn and bounce. So let's go across the gold. So gold is just continuing to drop. I haven't been doing gold or silver or anything over here. You can see silver's a mess as well. Let me switch back to this. And by the way, here's what I was doing, guys. I just want you to see it right here. Your vote for Ernest was received. And again, if you guys do vote for Ernest, he will send you the recipe if you ask him for it, right? And like I said, I think he's in, I don't know if I can check it from here or not, but I think I can check it. Ernest, I believe you're in first place still, right? I think he's in first place still. The last I checked. We'll start with gold first. All right. So gold, we had a couple different levels. There's a pullback, there's a drop. Gold's had some, it's been a kind of an interesting ride back and forth with gold. All right. So I'm going to delete these just to get kind of a clean kind of look on this one. I don't need, we can take the 1800 off now. I don't need the 1800. All right. I guess I don't need this 1800 anymore. Let's drop this one back up to a 4-hour. You can see how much time it's spent in that level. Actually, we'll just go to daily. All right, so you guys can see where current price is here at 1772, right? Gold, I don't know if you guys can see this over here. Look at this. I mean, remember, gold's supposed to be at what, 5,000 right now? Wasn't that what everybody was forecasting? Like 5,000? It's up 11% in a year. So, I mean, COVID did give it a nice jump, but I feel like that's outperforming some of the other assets. But look at this. I mean, the week it's down, the month it's down, the 3-month it's down, the 6-month it's down, the year to date it's down. I mean, it's kind of like, here's the initial, hey, gold's going to 5,000, get in now. But man, it is fast evaporating. Now, where we are on a daily basis is pretty interesting because looking at this level here, again, this little dotted line is where this is a level where we did have some basing, right? I mean, we had some chop right here, right? A little chop sideways in there. Drop it down to a 4-hour, and let's go look at that little that level. Where is it? There we go. We can see that we can further refine this down a little bit and say, hey, listen, this is probably a better area, probably in here, right? Had a little bit of I mean, again, nice punch up, little chop back and forth, wasn't able to go as low, test, and then boom, it was kind of off to the races. And that comes in here at 1750, right? I mean, that's, coming in right there at 1754. So, I would say below that, I mean, on a 4-hour basis, heck, I mean, down here is really the next time we've had a decent kind of nice push, and that's 1725. So let's bring this all the way across and see how close. So right now it's having some issues with this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this to black. I'm going to change this to black right here. So there we go. So couple interesting things on this one. So there's a level here. It's not 100% fresh. It has been hit before. With us pushing through this level, let me go look at that zone one more time. Trying to see how much lower, like if I bring it to here. It's probably fine. Let me see. How much space do we have for a short? It's only about it's probably only a 2-to-1. Yeah, it's only 2-to-1. So there's a 1-to-2, right? 1 risk, 2 reward trade there. Trying to see what the second one is. That's a 4-to-1. Man, that's tough. Man, that's tough. So I'm kind of thinking. If I stack that, is it going to be different? Yeah. So the way that that's set up now, as you can see, it's a 1-to-2 and a 1-to-4 to the downside. I do really like that. Man, I do like it to the downside. I wish we had a little bit more before we ran into this level at 1746. And again, let's see. Yeah, tagged that this morning. So we can refine this level a little bit here. Let's see. It should base a bit right now where it's hitting. We may be able to actually take this and make this a little bit smaller for kind of a downside. I mean, we may be able to get kind of something along these lines in here, right? Like if we know that this is the prior level, see if we can get some type of a confirmation. We may be able to shrink the risk on that one a bit. And instead of taking just that, the enormous size target, instead of taking this full, we may be able to shrink this back down again, and it provides a little bit better opportunity. And again, I got to see where where this base is coming in at. But I mean, if just for an example, if we take it from here to here, Now we can get our 3-to-1 range in there. That's a lot more likely to happen because we know we have some buyers stepping in at 1746. So, if gold is your thing and you like trading gold, again, if we can get a little pull down, again, this has given us a very interesting setup because we do have a level of basing. We are breaking it. If we can pull back, very interesting short here. And again, I would say that any shorts, make sure that you're out before 1746. But I think those are decent drops to the downside. I'm having technical. Did you say you were sending me pip chip? What? Pip chips? What are you talking about? Oh. Yeah. The pip chip, the pip chip trade. But yeah, so that's where we got with gold. I think gold is better than silver. Again, here's silver. I'll shut this back down to a 30-minute. Yesterday we marked it off saying that, here's our level of curve with silver, and look what silver did. It literally just drove straight through the middle. And again, we want silver to come down. We want silver to base in this level, and we're looking for silver to drop. But right now it's still high. It's still in the middle. But look how much time it spent there in that middle level. Again, the no man's land. Not worth trading. And again, everybody said silver would be at 50 by the end of last year, and we're not even halfway. We're just over halfway there, right? So for me, I don't have anything for silver. Looking for a break still of. We're looking for a break of 26.70 before we can do much. So we got about another 30 cents a drop on the downside on this one. So yeah. So look for a continued drop. But as I said, middle, nothing, all crap, all junk, right? Oil. So man, look at that. Look at that level. Look at that. Right there. Look at that drop. Whew. Man, we're getting a lot of movement quick. We got 40 minutes to go. Man, it's rocking. It's moving. They haven't pre-released natural gas yet, have they? Just seeing if it was out already. Oh, man, it's moving already. Natural gas came down to its target, though. Remember for for Nadex, I mentioned this one, that we were sitting right here, that we had enough time if we could roll down or back. And again, this is just kind of where I would adjust this probably a little bit. It's got to be more off the candles, but there's the base. There's what we're looking for. Now I'm curious. Now I gotta look. I gotta look. Yeah, pushing it down to buy it back. Yeah, exactly. Will. Yep, it's exactly what I think it's doing. Natural gas 10 to 12. Where are we at now? Right at 31. Oh, there is one there. Oh man, it's $13 risk. Hold on. I know you guys can't see that, but I gotta grab this. Save as and Q. All right, there you go. Wanted to make sure that I grabbed that one. Yeah, so where it's at right now, it's about $13. Like, for just an example, again, it is driving quite deep before the news release comes out. It's a lot of movement, very, very fast. It drove into a 30-minute level here, and now it's stabilizing and kind of holding a bit. Comes out in 6 minutes, right? And on a call spread with $13 worth of risk, you'd be looking for this to pop. It's not going to take that much, right, to get this one profitable. Oh man. Hold on, I gotta take one more screenshot real quick, guys. Hold on. This is one of those kind of things that I try to get the examples. NG1. And again, I don't know if it's. I'm not watching enough to trade it, but yeah, it's a lot of movement. So yeah, they're both in the same spot. But man, oil is moving. What is the dollar doing? All right, so unfortunately, this one may get hijacked, but look at this level right here. Look how these wicks are going straight up, right? Look at those wicks right there. Okay, I like levels like that. I think that this would be a decent level to take a bounce off of. If we can get this to push down into that level, and again, natural gas may hijack this one before we get there. It's got 40 cents the drop, 30 cents the drop from now till Yeah, I mean, basically 35 minutes. It's like, oh, that would be a decent level too, right around 60-30. Let me see. What is crude oil? Mm, there's a 60-50. Let me see knockouts. What do we got commodity wise on knockouts? God, I hate oil knockouts. They got it all the way down here at 60. I don't know. Maybe 60 is not bad. There is a knockout sitting. I need something for knockouts. I need like one of these things for a knockout. I guess I could just do that. Put it knockout right there. Right, we got a knockout at 60. That's a bottom. So I don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't know if we can get in this level. And again, this could be that could be a crude oil knockout right there. It's like 60-65. Jesus, it's huge. Oh my God, it goes all the way up. Oh, I can hear the girl. 60-65. There's the knockout. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Melissa, can you hear the girl getting all her toys together? All right, so yeah, interesting call, guys, on this one. Like I said, with NQ moving down, it is delayed data. I'm not paying for it, but yeah, it's right there. It is pushing. Again, it's the outside of that call spread. It's pushing. Oh, it's 3 minutes to go. I love how it's pushing down though. Let me see what the binary is on NQ. Commodities, natural gas, 10 to 12. Huh. Look at like something like this, right? $17 worth of risk. I mean, 17 or 14. Any type of pop that you get off of these two. And again, look, you're this is an hourly. I'll drop it down to a 30-minute. I mean, really, either of these two works. I mean, you could use that level, or you could use this level right below it. Yeah, I think either of those two is not bad. Interesting. All right, we're gonna let this take for 2 minutes, and we'll check it out. Let's go ahead and we'll do the drawing now because this is the last one that we need to cover for the day. So let me pull this in here. Oh, Ernest, what is this? What is this? Who are you getting beat by? All right, everybody needs to get out there and vote. Got to put him back up in the first place. Cannot believe you're back in second. Oh, told me you were in first. All right, so let's go ahead and do the drawing, guys. I'll give you guys about 1 minute, right when we hit at 10:30, or just again, we're getting ready to do the drawing here. I want to hang on for this natural gas. All done for 24 hours. And no, you cannot use your pip chips to buy extra tickets on the other thing. So I'll give this till 8:30. That's funny. I actually set this up before the stream started, and I don't know why it's saying that it's only been on for this long, but okay. Maybe because I was on another window? I don't know. I started this before the stream. Another 13 seconds, 20 seconds. It's rigged. Well, Morena won last Friday. Remember, we didn't have one Monday. Tuesday, we don't do one. Wednesday, we do the double. Morena won it Friday. So let's see who can go ahead and take this one right now, right? I'll give you an extra 20 seconds here. Now that I mentioned that Morena won, it's like, okay, let's see. Is everybody going to be mean? Everybody except Ernest. Wealth Builder. Wealth Builder's like, Ernest said it's rigged. Now we want him to win. This is the only way that everybody would be cheering for Ernest. All right, here we go. In 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Winner of today's drawing is Ross. Look at that. Go Ross. Leaderboard. Where's Ross? Ross, where you at? Right there. Ross, let me give you your 25 before I forget. All right, let's check what NQ is doing. Let's check out the NQ numbers. I guess Will says it's, let's see if how let's see what it, it's a little bit different. Yeah, so this is you know, a little bit off. Little bit off. Let's check see what it's doing. Where is it? Da-da-da. This one's gonna be delayed. Let me go to I guess I'm gonna have to go to Nadex and do it. I'm gonna drop right into that level, right? Yeah. No, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I mean it went into the level. It drove into the level. Again, a lot of movement right into the level before it was released. So we'll see. Again, 15, 17. Here, let me click this one. Just trying to get more. Hold on one sec. Boom. There we go. All right. So yeah, we'll see how this one comes in. It's good because this is not gonna. That shouldn't hijack oil too much. So there is still hope that we can drive down to this level prior to the news release. So again, of the two, I think I like oil is more predictable than natural gas. But yeah, so it's looking good. Like I said, this gets down, look for that bounce. We can get a bit of a rollover. So all right, with that said, guys, 10:30. I'm out of here. I am going to bolt. If you guys need me, message me on Discord. If not, same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 to 10:30. And actually, tomorrow I got to roll right at 10:30. We're going to try attempt number 2 of checking out the girls' school tomorrow. So she is very happy. She's been dying to go to school and eat popcorn with Asher. I'm not sure why she thinks Asher's at school, but that's just what she thinks. But yeah, so catch you guys tomorrow. And don't forget, a lot of UK stuff. A little Aussie news tonight, a lot of news tomorrow morning. Set your trades accordingly. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.